Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome to the first episode of my Football Manager 2016 series. Yep, you heard that right, Football Manager is returning to my channel for the third straight year, and I am really excited about this series, and hopefully you guys are as well. Now, you may be wondering why I'm doing Football Manager. If you're new to my channel, you probably think you're a FIFA YouTuber, aren't you? Why are you playing this game? Well, for the past 2 years, I have indeed done FM, as I just mentioned there. In FM 14, I did a save on YouTube, which was with Everton, and in FM 15 I did a save with Southampton, and over the past few weeks I've noticed the interest in my channel has dropped quite a bit, and I felt as though I needed to start a new series really to go alongside my Hamburg one, which by the way will resume, it will continue, don't worry. This series won't be the main one, it'll be a secondary one to my Hamburg save. For those a little bit worried that Hamburg save would stop, it won't, don't worry about it. But yeah, I felt like I need to do a new series and start something different, and during last week I asked you guys on Twitter what you wanted to see from me next. I put a poll out and I said pick one out of 3 choices. I could either do a player career mode in FIFA, I could either do a challenge series in FIFA like Saving Bray or the experiment of last year, or I could play some Football Manager, and over 50% of you voted for Football Manager. So I'm just trying to do what you guys want really, and again, FM seemed like the most popular option based on the votes, and that's why I'm doing FM once again, and I'm really excited for this save, and hopefully you guys are as well, because I've played FM a lot over the recent years. It's a really fun game and it should be really fun. But if you've never played a Football Manager before, basically it's a really fun game. It's a game which some people struggle to get into, some people struggle to get immersed into, and I think that's one of the reasons why quite a lot of you didn't enjoy my Everton and Southampton series over the past 2 years, because you've had very little experience with the game or no experience whatsoever, and it can be quite hard to watch someone play a game when you don't really know too much about it. So because of that, I totally understand why the Everton Southampton saves didn't do as well, but hopefully if you haven't played the game before, you do give this a chance. You don't just switch off after the first episode because it's going to be a bit too confusing for you. Do please give it a chance. I'm sure you will get into it over time. It's the type of game, Football Manager, where if you start off with a save and you don't really get into it, it can be very hard to keep on playing or watching someone play, but if you really get into it and you really get immersed into it, you can get addicted to the game. And I've said so many times before, this is the type of game where, you know, oftentimes I'll be playing at like 10 PM at night, and then I'll say one more game, and then before I know it, it's 4 in the morning, and I need to go to bed because I've got to be up at 8 AM or something. It's a game which can get very addictive. You can get lost in the world, really. It's an awesome game. It's a lot of fun. And again, hopefully you guys give this a chance, because even if you've never played the game before and have little experience with it, it can be really enjoyable and a lot of fun as well. Now, the plans for the episodes will be, well, basically, these episodes will probably be about 10 minutes in length, 10 to 15 minutes long, and they'll be commentated over live, really. This is a post-commentary for the first episode, as they usually are, but for the most part, most episodes will be live and between 10 and 15 minutes long. I'll probably cut up highlights of the game as well, and fit in about 2 games per episode. I'll probably just pick and handpick a couple games to show you per episode, and I'll probably just play through quite a bit of the season off camera as well, so you just see the most important games. And the reason I chose Swansea to start the series off is because Swansea are a Barclays Premier League side, of course, who are a mid-table side, really, a pretty decent team, but a mid-table side, and I felt as though starting with a big team would be kind of not boring and not pointless, but I guess it wouldn't be too challenging, really. And I wanted to start with a team that would be a little bit of a challenge to begin with, but also not a side who would be too hard, because I haven't played too much FM this year, so I wanted to make sure I could do alright with the team. But again, they're a bit of a mid-table side, Swansea, and I'd like to think that in years to come we could possibly get them into the top 4, possibly get into a European competition, but for the beginning of the save, they're a side who are a bit of a mixed bag, an average team, and yeah, that's why I chose Swansea to begin with. The objectives for the season with Swansea, though, starting off with the new club, the Welsh side, primarily really just to make sure we don't embarrass ourselves in the first season. So with me in charge, that could be quite difficult. But if we can finish a mid-table come the end of the year, I'd definitely take that. I think this side is good enough to finish between like 10th to 15th place at the very minimum, and I do believe that is really what we should be aiming for. Nothing too ambitious, nothing like a qualification for the Europa League places, for example. Just making sure we don't get dragged into a relegation scrap come the end of the year. That's my main objective for Swansea. And for the series as a whole, really, this is going to be a side which is going to be about progression, really. And in the first couple of seasons, I don't really predict us doing too much with Swansea, nothing too significant regardless, but they're a side who, as the years go by, should hopefully get progressively better. And, you know, maybe in the first couple of seasons we won't be qualifying for Europe or anything, but as the years go by and we gradually become a better and bigger team, hopefully, you know, we will be able to challenge for Champions League places places and possibly Premier League titles as well down the line too. And that's why I think Swansea are a really interesting side to use, because again, they're not a bad side at all, but they're an average side, a mid-table team, and it means that as the years go by and the seasons progress, we'll see the progression with this Swansea team through the personnel and the club stature. It should be a really, really fun team to use regardless, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. Hopefully you guys are as well. Now, as for transfers with the team, we started off with a budget of £10 million, and this was the guy we signed first to the club, Rodrigo Bentancur, a Uruguayan midfielder that plays for Boca Juniors. We signed him for a couple million, and he's 18 years old. He looks pretty decent. Nothing too special to begin with, but one of the FM community, Dr. Benji FM, was talking to me on Skype, and he recommended me as a transfer target, and we signed him to the club. Apparently it's a really good deal for him as well, so he's the type of player who we'll be getting excited about as the years go by. We'll be watching his progression, and again, hopefully he'll become a star in this team as the years go on. We also had a bid for Marvin Emnes as well from Sassuolo. We managed to sell him out of the club and get into the Italian side as well. Didn't really feel the need to keep him at the club, to be honest. He's out of contract in 2017 on 22 grand a week. He's got some very average stats, as you can see right here, so nothing too significant, nothing too good. So we sell him to Sassuolo for around £2.8 million, I think it was, and that's totally fine with me. So he goes, and in comes Bentancur, and really that's all we did for transfers. That's genuinely all I've done in pre-season so far. You can see here, Bentancur coming in for £3 million and Emnes going out for £2.8 million. That's all we've done to begin this season off with. And you may be sitting there thinking, well, you had £10 million in the bank. Why didn't you spend it all like you do in career mode? Well, it's mainly because this Swansea team right now, I don't feel as though we can really get too many amazing deals for the club, and I don't feel like we can bring anyone in for around £10 million who will significantly improve the first team. So I don't really see the point in spending money just for spending money's sake. We may as well keep the team as it is right now, not really change it too much, and just keep hold of our money, wait until January or possibly for next summer transfer window, and then look to, save the cash, add to it with bonuses and whatnot and prize money, and then look to buy better players again in the next transfer window or in the summer of next season. So we may still buy one or two more players. I'm thinking about possibly buying a new backup left back for the team, but other than that, you can see the squad depth right here. It's a totally fine team. We don't really need to make too many changes. We've got a decent 18-year-old in. That's all we really need. We sold Marvin Emnes, that's fine too. And to be honest, I'm totally fine with the team as it is right now, and that's why I don't feel the need to change it up too much. But for the first and only game of the episode here, we take on West Bromwich Albion for the first game of the series in the Barclays Premier League opening day away from home at the Hawthorn. So taking on Tony Pulis' side. Now this game is commentated in a post-commentary format like the rest of this episode has been, but for the most part, the episodes in this series, the majority, if not all of them, will be live commentaries. I feel as though that's the best style of commentary for this type of series, really. It'll be live highlights, so if you watch my career mode stuff, you want to know what that means. It's basically me commentating over the most important parts of the episode live and just chopping it up so it makes into a neat video for you guys, as opposed to me doing a post-commentary for every single episode like some of my career modes have been in FIFA. So yeah, most of the episodes will be fully live, but this one is fully post-commentary just because I had a few things to talk about. But still, we took on West Bromwich Albion for the first game of the new season, and coming into this game I was thinking, taking on Tony Pulis' side, this is a side who will, most likely be looking to finish in mid-table just like us, so a very similar type of opponent to face for the opening day. But we conceded in the 30th minute through Saido Berahino getting on the end of a James McLean cross, and then in the 35th minute here, as you can see, we failed to keep hold of the ball here with Lucas Fabianski, who was in no pressure whatsoever, launched the ball forward, and that's exactly what I don't want this Swansea team to be doing. I was hoping to be playing basically a sort of a formation and a tactic, which will mean that we'll be playing the ball on the ground pretty much the majority of the time, passing out from the back and whatnot. And I showed you the team instructions just before we went into the game. That's what I was hoping for. That's not what happened for that goal. Fabianski just launched it forward, we surrendered possession. Berahino went down the right hand side. He created one to pick out Ricky Lambert in the centre after scoring the first one, and the former Liverpool and Southampton striker made it 2-0. It would have became 3-0 23 minutes before the end of the game after Saido Berahino thought he scored his second goal of the game, but fortunately we were bailed out by the linesman's flag, so we were in an absolute nightmare start to the season. Would have gone 3-0 down there had the lino not raised his flag, but it was still 2-0. And the only real positive from the game from us really was that Darren Fletcher got sent off for this challenge here for his second bookable offence, and West Brom went down to 10 men with 15 minutes to go. That was really our only positive in the game. It was a really poor one. We actually played okay in terms of the match stats in the top right. As you can see, Sigurdsson took the free kick here but put it over the bar. You can see right here, stats in the top right, didn't seem to reflect what happened on the pitch really. We lost the game by 2-0 1-0, but I didn't think we played too poorly. Defensively just weren't good enough though, and of course going forward, not creating a single clear-cut opportunity was a bit of a worry for us. But still, losing the opening day of the season against West Bromwich Albion away from home, it's not the way I wanted to start my managerial career off with Swansea, but if nothing else, it does show that we need a lot of progression with this Swansea side. And again, this is what this series is going to be all about. Becoming a good team with Swansea is not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen over the course of a few years, and that's why I'm really excited for this series, because we're not good enough to go ahead and qualify for the Champions League in the first season or anything like that. But as the years go by, the side will get gradually better, and it should be a really fun story to see what we can do with this side, and hopefully we'll be going forwards and not backwards. But after this result, I'm not entirely sure that will be the case. But that is going to end the first episode of my new series, guys. So I want to say a big thank you for watching it. I really hope you have enjoyed it. Once again, I want to say that if you're not a fan of FM, please do at least consider watching 1 or 2 more episodes in this series, because it really is an enjoyable game. It is a lot of fun. I know it can be quite hard to watch someone play a game when you have no experience with it, but trust me, it is a really fun game, and I think this could be a really fun series in terms of the progression as well. But regardless, thank you for watching the episode. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do leave a like. If you're excited to see more, then please do smash that like button, and I'll see you for episode number 2 in my Football Manager series very soon.